my YouTube channel Biologically Frolic by Aishwarya. I'm sorry for so many days I was been away and I was about to upload a video, but due to some reasons I was not able to upload a video. But I'm back with full of energy and knowledge. So we'll come back to our today's topic, that kingdom fungi. So kingdom fungi is nothing but a kingdom mycota. We also call it as kingdom mycota. So kingdom mycota, or also we call it as kingdom fungi, it includes all types of fungus. Okay, so what is fungus? Fungus is one such organism which is cosmopolitan in nature. What do you mean by cosmopolitan now? So cosmopolitan in nature means fungi occurs everywhere in nature. So it occurs in air, it occurs in water, it occurs in soil. Okay, it occurs on the surface of the bodies, it occurs on the surface of everything. Okay, so it occurs everywhere in nature. So there are some interesting facts about fungi. There are two types of fungi actually. We also call it as a good fungi and bad fungi. So good fungi are the one who are helpful for the human being. So what kind of fungus can be helpful to us? So there is one fungus called as penicillium. I'll just give you a single example. So there are so many examples actually, we call it as a good fungi. But I'll give you one such example, penicillium. Penicillium is one such fungi. It is used as an antibiotic. Okay. So there is one more fungi, we call it as yeast, which makes our dough to rise. You eat idli dosas, right? So what makes the dough, idli dough or dosa dough to rise in the next morning? So that is yeast. The yeast is nothing but it is a unicellular fungi. Okay. So this is about the good fungi. So we'll talk something about the bad fungi also. So bad fungi are the one who are not useful for us or who can cause some harm to us. So what kind of fungi these are? So there is one such example called as Puccinia. Puccinia is one such fungi which causes the wheat rust in plants. Okay, it is not only the thing is that only for human beings or only for animals it causes some harm. It can cause the harm for plants also. Okay, and in our human beings there is one disease called as ringworm disease. So this ringworm disease is also caused by fungus. Okay, so there are so many things that we can talk about the good and bad fungi. You see the rust on the not actually rust. You see the mold grown on the bread. If you keep the bread for so many days, the mold will be grown on the bread, right? So what is that? It is nothing but a fungi grown on it. Okay, and what is the need of keeping the things in refrigerator? So it is because of fungi, because fungi cannot grow in low temperature. So that is one reason that we keep things in, we keep vegetables, we keep our milk in fridge, we keep curd in fridge, and there are so many things we keep in fridge, right, refrigerators. So this is one reason that we keep the things in refrigerator. Fungi cannot grow in low temperature. They are present in the normal temperature. So if you keep your food outside the refrigerator, in 2 days only it will spoil. So this is why we keep the food, the fruits, vegetables, milk, etc. in refrigerator. Okay. So this is about the good and bad fungi. Now let's talk about the characteristics of fungi. Characteristics, what I can say is, the fungi have a long thread-like structure. We call it as hyphae. So it is called as the body of the fungi. So this hyphae forms a network called as mycelium. Okay. So mycelium is the network of fungi. Okay. So this is about the characteristics. Now where this fungi lives actually. So they first live on the surface of the dead and decaying body. Okay. So if they are living on the dead and decaying matter, it is called as saprophyte. Okay. If it is living inside the water, it is called as aquatic. Okay. If it is living with as a friendly relationship with any other organism, it is called as what? Symbiotic relationship. So if it is living inside the host organism or if it is living inside the living organism, it is called as parasite. So these are the living modes of the fungi. Okay, we learned three types of living modes: saprophytic, parasitic and symbiotic. Okay, parasitic is the one in which the fungi lives inside the body of the organism. Second, symbiotic. Symbiotic is the one who the fungi which lives as a friendly relationship with other organism, and another is what? Saprophytes. Okay, so this is about the living modes of the fungi. Now, apart from the living modes, we shall also learn about the types of fungi. So there are usually four types of fungi: phycomycetes, basidiomycetes, ascomycetes, and deuteromycetes. Okay, so phycomycetes are the one who are usually aquatic in nature, and they live everywhere in nature. Okay, so phycomycetes have the asexual spores. They are also called as zoospores, or also they are called as aplanospores. So this is what the asexual reproduction takes place in what phycomycetes. So example for phycomycetes is mucor and rhizopus. So rhizopus, as I told you, the bread mold, it is also called as bread mold, which grows on the surface of the bread. Okay, so this is the example for phycomycetes. Guys, the examples are very much important in case of this kingdom fungi. You may get the questions as what are the examples of phycomycetes, what are the examples of basidiomycetes. You should be able to tell that, right? So next is what? Ascomycetes. So ascomycetes are the one who are usually parasitic in nature, and they also live inside as a host organism also, and they are free living also. Okay, so the famous example of ascomycetes is the penicillium. Okay, so penicillium is one such fungi which gives you antibiotic. Okay, there are so many antibiotics in market nowadays. There are what? Penicillin. Okay, there are so many, actually I am not remembering the names right now, but there are so many types of antibiotics in market, but this penicillin is the famous one. Okay, so apart from this penicillium is the multicellular fungi. There is a unicellular fungi also in this group. It is called as yeast, the famous example. Okay, so yeast also is helpful in preparing the alcohol. It is used in preparation of bread, bakery items, etc. Okay, so this is the example of what? Ascomycetes. So let's talk about the reproduction of ascomycetes. So reproduction takes place by sexual modes also, asexual mode also. Okay, asexual reproduction takes place by the ascospores. Okay, conidiophores. The conidiophores are the one who are attached to the mycelium called as conidia. Okay, sorry, conidiophore. So on the surface of the conidiophore, conidias are attached. Okay, so this is the mode of asexual and sexual reproduction in ascospores. Okay, so let's talk about basidiospores next. So basidiospores are the one who actually called as mushrooms. Okay, so mushroom is the famous example for the basidiospores. So basidiospore, usually they are free living, okay, and they are usually bigger in nature, okay, and they usually found in jungles, etc. So famous example, as I told you, agaricus. Agaricus is also called as mushrooms. Okay, so this in this basidiospores only only vegetative type of reproduction is studied. Okay, still asexual and sexual reproduction is not yet known in this type of groups. Okay, so this vegetative reproduction is nothing but if you just cut a piece of agaricus or mushroom and if you just sow it in the soil, a new mushroom may grow. Okay, so this type of vegetative reproduction may take place, and the meiosis, what occurs in such type of mushrooms, are called as what? Basidiophores. Okay, so they form up 4 basidiophore spores. Okay, which give rise to a new mushroom. Okay, so the next fungi and the last group of the fungi is deuteromycetes. So deuteromycetes is also called as imperfect fungi because we don't know much about the deuteromycetes. So that is the reason we call it as fungi imperfectae or imperfect fungi. So the famous example for deuteromycetes is trichoderma. Trichoderma also causes a disease called as ringworm disease. Okay, so this is about the deuteromycetes. I'll not talk much about it because we don't know much about it. As soon as the scientists will get to know the information about the deuteromycetes, it will be added in your textbooks as soon as possible. Okay, so next is kingdom plantae. I'll just highlight the kingdom plantae. So kingdom plantae includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So plantae includes all types of plants, okay, all types of flowering plants, all types of non-flowering plants, small plants, algae, everything, okay. So next is kingdom animalia. Kingdom animalia includes fishes, reptiles, aves, then amphibians, then mammals, etc. So kingdom animalia is the study of all the animals present in the world. Okay, so this is about here we complete actually the lesson, and the last portion of the lesson is remaining, that is the study of viruses. So viruses are one such organism. As you know, there is a disaster in our world about the COVID-19 coronavirus. So these viruses are nothing but they are living also, they are not living also. So we cannot call it just as a living thing, because whenever they are in the nature, they are just like a powder. Okay, they do not look like they are alive. But whenever they go inside the host, they activate themselves and they multiply themselves and they become so cruel that it causes so many things in our body, as you are seeing now. Okay, so it causes fever, it causes breathing problem. There are so many viruses, they cause different symptoms. Okay, so this is about the viruses. So famous viruses are tobacco mosaic virus in plant, okay, and then HIV virus in human beings, okay, and nowadays we are learning a lot about coronavirus. Okay, so there are a lot of viruses present in nature. So next thing is lichens. The last part of your lesson is lichens. So lichens, as I told you, these are the symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae. Okay, so fungi and algae, when they live together, they are called as lichens. So lichens are the one who are also called as the pollution indicator. Why? Because these are the things which do not grow on the polluted area. They do not grow in polluted area actually. Okay, wherever there is a pollution, you cannot see any lichen. But if you can see lichens in some jungles, in some deep jungles, etc., where there is no pollution at all. Okay, so why there is a need of friendship between the fungi and the algae? So it is because fungi gives the shelter to the algae and algae gives food to the fungi. So this is the reason they have a friendly relationship between each other. So here ends our topic, guys. Please, if you like the video, please subscribe and do share the video, like the video. Thank you.